Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome to the Aftercast episode. I think this is 21. I'm your host, James, Victory Saber 77, and today we're going to be talking a lot of Transformer stuff, especially G2 Menasaur. We're going to get into a great heated debate. But first off, you guys want to introduce yourselves? We'll start with Charles.
God damn it. Oh.
Charles, go ahead.
I didn't hear you
got the
say.
floor.
Who you want to start with? I'm Charles. You can find me on Twitter at Optimus4Prez and Xbox Live as AutoCon365.
Chris?
You can find me Battlefront Games on the good old Facebook and YouTube. And hi.
Dakota.
I'm Dakota. You can find me at Primal Sabbath.
We can't see you.
Yeah.
I wish I had a way to turn on people's cameras.
I wouldn't want to know what we see.
The NSA over here.
Dalton?
I'm Dalton. You can find me on YouTube at DaltoniansTFs and on Twitter at DaltoniansTFs95.
Nemesis Jazz 13.
Find me on Twitter at Jay.
Right on. Nice. Way to play on it. That was good. And Josh.
You can find me G1 Hextron on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Facebook page the G1 Hextron.
And you can find me YouTube, Twitter, Victory Saber 77. And Jay is Nemesis Jazz 13 on Twitter. So don't want to confuse anyone, but and remember to check out our website, cybercastnetwork.com. We're doing a lot of revamping on it. It's going to be great. Check it out. Become a member. It's the only way that you're going to be able to see anything. We're making it very exclusive. You got that bag open? Right on. Wait a minute. Oh man, that's what we did last week. Oh crap, we're starting that now.
It's gonna be.
No, just doing it because he's eating or whatever. So.
I mean, nah, dude. That's all right. That's fine.
Okay, hold on here. Then you can get into the debate. Check us out. Follow us on Twitter, CybercastNet, like our Facebook, Cybercast Network, YouTube. We still have videos on there, but we're not going to be posting anything new. And there you go. So, you want to get right into the debate, or do we want to go over any, you guys got any hauls? Anything looking forward to getting? Got anything?
I got a little bit of a haul. I just got in on Friday here the Target 2-pack Prime and Grimlock.
Oh, so shiny.
Good figs.
So nice.
Well, obviously with the Grimlock, the Prime isn't bad. The only thing I'm worried about is the chrome on the pegs, turning him back into truck mode. So.
Because they're overly chromed like that, does that mean in a prolonged use of time they're going to be a bit more brittle? Or is it not too bad? Is that just like an old school sort of thing?
Typically, with friction being applied to the chrome, it's going to
It's
scrape
gonna
it.
flake and scrape.
Yeah.
Yes. Unfortunately.
So
It's a sad day when Great Goldrand goes to
So my Prime figure is just going to be a display piece after I review it. So
That's fair enough then.
What do the other pieces become? You're not displaying
the Grimlock's going.
He's a bath toy.
He's one of those tiny things. Okay, I get it. Right on. Any other hauls from anyone?
I pre-ordered the Fans Project Quadruple U Friday, and hopefully he should be here sometime this coming week.
I'm not getting nothing until next month.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
What are you getting
You're
next
welcome.
month?
Wheeljack and Jetfire.
Wheeljack's coming out next week? Next month?
August.
Yeah, come on.
Same with
Oh, you mean Masterpiece Wheeljack?
Masterpiece,
That's what
yeah.
he's listed for.
No, he's talking about the classics one that I'm selling.
And that's... I didn't even think about that. Wheeljack's next month.
Speaking of which,
Scary.
I bought the CHMS Starscream and the Generations Sky Shadow from Dakota, so it should be here Monday.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Anyone else? All right.
I
let's
got
move.
holes, but I didn't get like Transformer stuff. I got like 2 tank models, and I think I showed you guys like last time. I got a tank shell just because, why not? But yeah, something a bit different. But yeah, they're over there. But I broke them on like the first day. I wrapped them too hard in bubble wrap, and like on one of the tanks is like the crew member, like he died, snapped in half. But now I'm using him as if like the tank's like run over him, so it kind of works out. And it comes with like a mini diorama as well. I would get it, but it's like on the other side of the room, and I'm too lazy. But you can just imagine, it's just picture a tank and it's cool. So
Seems like you destroy your stuff a lot.
I know I'm terrible. I'm really bad. It's like I can't.
Let me see
I
that.
don't pick things up and like.
Whoops.
Gently. It's like let me just hold. Oh no! Just crumpled. It's like Lego. You know?
Not inviting you to my house. Oh my goodness.
Like whenever
Look, Sarek. Oh.
Hands in pockets now, Chris.
Yeah.
If he ever
We're
makes
finally
it to
gonna
BotCon
discover
with us,
that.
like nothing. Don't let him go to
Once-
any dealer tables.
Oh god.
once Chris does his first like Transformer review, we're like all wondering why all his figures keep on breaking, and he's just like transforming it, just ripping it back and forth, making it stuff, and we're like, oh, okay, it all makes sense now.
Yeah.
It's like his arm won't transform. It just smashed it on the table. Yeah.
Taking a hammer to it.
No, I'm not that bad. I'm clumsy with fragile things. I get scared.
And you're a Transformers collector. Don't
No
seem to
lucky
go
draws
hand
for
in hand
you.
there.
Oh god, yeah.
And I love Gundam kits too.
I've never broke a Gundam kit. Well, Gundam model. I wouldn't say I've got a Gundam kit, but yeah.
Mm.
I ate them. It doesn't like when I was a kid, so it doesn't technically class as breaking, but yeah, chewed them.
You ready to get into G2?
Yeah, we'll get into G2 now. So, if you guys weren't watching the Cybercast, shame on you. But we were talking at the very beginning about the G2 Menasaur that sold on eBay for a little over $26,000 chump change. Nothing big. I would have thrown out a bid, but my wife was gonna probably hurt me. But but we were kind of debating back and forth whether or not, should FunPub, BotCon, Hasbro release these figures to the mass public, whether it be part of a subscription service, BotCon exclusive, whatnot. And then on the flip side, we had Dakota's view of, it's kind of more of a special item, exclusive, and maybe not to do that. So you guys have the floor. Go at it. Keep the language to PG at least. Try not to involve anyone's family members, and just come out clean and above the belt. So there you go.
Well, I guess I'll go ahead and start off since I've been thinking about this.
Okay, go for it.
I don't think they should, due to the fact that it was the first exclusive, and releasing it again with the breakdown is just going to severely drop the exclusivity and rareness of the first, the 94.
That's true.
Whether or not it's in a different packaging, whatever the situation may be, it's just going to drop the hype for the original.
All right, how many were made?
204 were offered at, or 204, 240, I think it was 204 were offered at BotCon 1994, plus an unknown number of the actual full sets that were right there at the production phase.
No more than 400? I was just asking for a quick number. So no more than 400?
If no.
Okay. Well, let's say 400 then. Other than 400 people that own it, who cares about the rarity or it dropping or anything else like that? It's all about, the masses. And there's more than 400 people that want this item. And you should be able to give it to us. Now,
Okay. Let me before you go off on another tangent, because you're pretty good at doing that. Let me stop you there. And so does that mean we should give all the countries that participated in the World Cup a first place trophy? By that logic, you know what I mean? It's at this point it's literally a trophy to be had. The BotCon 94 breakdown is a trophy amongst collectors, and not everyone. And this is going to sound terrible. Should have one. I don't have one, not yet, but the next time I have coin to drop on it, you better bet I'm gonna have one to own. With that being said, it's not, you know, it's not like what a Shatterglass Rodimus or whatever. You got all these knockoffs out there, and now everyone has the opportunity to have one. That's okay. That wasn't the first. That wasn't, you know what I mean? But just because more than 400 people want one, more than 400 people want a Super Bowl ring too. Should we just give every team in the NFL a Super Bowl ring every year?
They actually won something. I don't get
BotCon,
that comparison.
It goes back to BotCon was such a small, exclusive convention back in '94. There's hardly anyone that's doing it, and yes, they only had so many of these breakdowns to, give out, sell, and whatever. But now you see how big BotCon has become. Now, this year would have been pretty nice for the 20th anniversary to not re-release it in a way like the same packaging, same everything, but maybe in a box set, maybe in something to complete it. We also have to remember, it's bottom line, does Hasbro want the money? 400 people have this exclusive figure. Would it go down? Maybe, maybe not. You don't know that for sure. Transformers usually tend not to go down. Usually, they always go up, especially G1 stuff, Japanese stuff, always go up. But I don't know. I mean, me personally, yeah. If just like Dakota, if I had the money at the time, I would have probably purchased the G2 breakdown that was on eBay like 2 or 3 weeks ago. That sold for a little over $1,000. But would I purchase if all of a sudden FunPub said, "Hey, we're going to be doing a box set, G2 Menasaur, and it's going to be $250." Sure, I'd buy that, even if it's $300. Maybe even if it's the same price of a BotCon set, $395. That was the price this year. I would buy it. Sure. If I had the G2 breakdown, the original, would I feel bad that they re-released it? No, I don't care. I have the original. I know I have the original. But I'm not in a means of selling it, though. I don't need a monetary value on it to justify why I have it or why it's so great. I don't need to have it I don't check it like it's a stock. Like, okay, it's gone up, 200 points. Okay, now it's worth like $1,500.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoopity-doo. I don't care. I have it. And great. If someone else gets it, cool, but I have the original. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, it's not a monetary value as much as it is how many of these are there out there. It's like owning a lucky draw.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if Takara just kind of came out and said, "Oh, hey, all those lucky draws we've come out with over the years. Well, we're doing another run of them for the big 30th." Like, I don't even own a lucky draw, but that would upset me pretty heavily, just because it ruins what such a special item that it is. You know what I mean? Like, they went from being 204 G2 breakdowns, or 250 at max, probably not even that many, to 3,000. That's
okay.
That is what bothers me. It's not the price and how much it could go up. There's the 95 Night Racer. That thing isn't really fetching a whole lot if you can find one.
Yeah.
But if they were to remake it and the production numbers be, in these, 2,000 plus or minus, that would upset me, because it ruins the exclusivity of it. And it's not so much the price as much as it is just the production run. So.
Okay, so would we even have this conversation if it wasn't a Gestalt, a combiner fig, do you think? Let's say if it wasn't a, combiner piece, it was just, let's say it's a Japanese exclusive, it was a Nemesis Star Saber.
I would still be arguing the same.
Okay. I'm just curious. I mean,
yeah.
What, Dakota? He reminds me of some kid on the playground that he's the only one on his block that has this toy, and all the other kids are like, "Hey, can we play with you?" And he's just sitting over here "No, it's mine. I have the only one on the block." And he tells his mom to go buy all the other ones at the store so that he can be the only one at the block to have it.
How does how are you getting that from what I've said?
You love exclusive stuff. You said you love the BotCon stuff. You know even some of the TFCon stuff. So you like all that. You like the exclusive stuff. You like some rarities like your diver thing and and that's cool. There's a lot of collectors out there like you, but there's going to be some way that I said that they could make it a little bit different, that the rest of us could have this. Like that would be like me and James as G1 collectors. You know, Dalton, I know you probably got a couple of G1s. Chris and Jay as well. A lot of James and I's are originals, and that would be like us having the getting mad that they came out with reissues.
No,
Or
no, 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 no,
encores
no,
or
no.
anything like that, because we're like, no, we have the original, and it's all about the original because I don't want you to have it. I want to be the only one that has the original.
Were there more than 204 Fortress Maximuses made in the original G1 run? Like that has nothing to do with it being original or not. It has to do with it being such a limited special item.
Why does it have to be though?
What do you mean? Why does it have to be? It's
why is that so important to you?
I guess I can see where Dakota's coming from, just for the fact that it takes away that kind of special exclusivity from the con. You went, paid your dues to go there to get this item. I guess if we want to take it into now, it's like having the BotCon set being sold, re-released 3 months down the road after all of us went to BotCon to pick it up, to buy it, to go through the experience, and then and it was limited. Let's say they actually serial numbered them again on the certificate, and there was only, let's say, 2,000 of them. But it just, for me personally, it would just be really nice to have a G2 Menasaur. Okay, I mean, if the company that's KOing a lot of these things, because they have a KO Menasaur combiner team out there. I'm surprised they haven't done a G2 version. Just so there's one out there in the market. It's not going to take away from the BotCon, but it's just one of those things. Like I really want that, but I'm not. Kudos to those who can afford it, who want to drop that much money on that set. I guess I will continue collecting what I'm collecting. I'm happy with what I am, and I guess I will die without a G2 set unless somehow I can convince my wife to, give me a blank check. But it's just not gonna happen. And I guess you just have to prioritize. But it just kind of sucks being a collector, being this huge, Transformers community is huge. Collecting tons of different series, and they're not cheap, they're expensive, and so forth. It would just be really cool to be able to attain this in some way, and to have Hasbro want to, like, hey, we can make, like what Josh is saying, we can make money off of this. Why aren't we doing it? This is stupid. We know there's people out there that would buy this thing. Let's do it.
Bait us into the whole subscription service. Like James and I, we're not buying it. We have no plans, or what didn't even interest us. But you tell us that you're going to have at least one of those in there, I'm buying the whole thing. I might even buy 2 subscription services.
I think it would be wise if they included the rest of the G2 Stunticons. Basically, Wild Rider, Menasaur, Dragstrip, and Dead End in the G2 colors. And just skip Breakdown entirely. Like that, I would be totally... That, I think, would be really awesome. And everyone essentially can have their cake and eat it too. Yeah. And I don't think there would be as big an issue around it. Like, that's something I'm cool with. But as far as G2 Breakdown goes, he's the first. Like, he is,
It's sacrilegious in a way. It's just it's something. It's an untouchable. It should not happen.
Okay.
Just because it's so.
All you guys have combiners.
Yeah.
Do any of you guys have a combiner team on your shelf that is not combined?
I do, actually.
No.
Okay, so for the majority, I'm looking at all my combiners. Every single one of them are combined right now.
Then buy a G1 breakdown on eBay
Oh, well, I don't
and
have
either
one.
paint it up or just
I
keep
shouldn't
them in
have to
leg
paint it up.
mode. Well, I mean, sorry, I guess. Then leave them as a G1. I mean, I don't know, dude. It just that like it is. It's for me as a especially as a botcon collector, especially as someone who really values the last 20 years of exclusives. Like that's just like I don't know. It's like burning the Transformers Bible or something.
Well, you're a little too invested in, or vested into this because you're a huge BotCon fan, and that's like whenever I think of you, what does Dakota collect? He collects Beast Wars and he collects BotCon stuff. I think everyone on here would say that those would be the two things that you collect, and with James, you would say G1 and Brave. Of course he collects more things,
Brave.
but those are the two things that you would identify with him the most. One, yours is BotCon, and we know you love it. I mean, even like whenever we were all standing there together, just to see you take off, do all the BotCon stuff while we were there. I mean, you did the custom stuff. You woke up early. You did all the buying the sets. Getting the golden ticket. You're obviously a lot more vested into this whole BotCon thing than the rest of us. Would you say that's
yeah.
fair? Okay. All right. So don't you think that you may be a little bit biased with your opinion, where I'm thinking not just for myself here, I'm thinking about everyone, and also I'm thinking from a business point of view. If I'm Hasbro, if I'm FunPub, what would make us a lot of money, and what would make the majority of fans happy? But you're thinking of that niche little group that
I
buy
would
golden
consider
tickets.
myself biased if I actually owned one. I don't own one, and I am totally against them. Yeah, I mean, dude, nothing would strike more joy to, hey, that's a really expensive exclusive I don't have to get now because of this. I mean, that there's a part of me that's like, wow, man, do I pay $200 or $300 for the set of 5, or do I go and pay,
You
1,000
would get
plus
both.
for the one? And it all boils down to like, I
You
would
would get both.
rather. I would rather pay 1,000 for the one and then just pick up the other 4 if they were to ever be released. Even though that one would never come out of its package.
Yeah, that's the thing too. You would never want to take it out to combine it anyways.
Exactly, and it.
So a gift pack would actually be nice.
I'm quite literally defending all the 204 people that have a G2 breakdown out there. Like I'm not defending myself. Yes, there's the part of me that's on a budget that would love nothing more than to have a G2 breakdown on the cheap. But then there's the collector, the one that's like die hard in me that really wants just to have the original, and for that to really be the only one in existence. Or not the only one, but the only run in existence, I should say.
Yeah.
I know it's not exclusive, but whenever they did just because it's recent and for people that don't collect any type of rarities or anything like that, Masterpiece Soundwave, Takara first coming out with him, I paid $200 for him, what he was going for. A little bit later, Hasbro, for only $125, you get 5 cassettes. Or is it 4? Is it 5?
5. I think it was
5. Okay, and you get the Soundwave as well for a lot cheaper, and you get all those little cassettes. And then they come out with their second run Soundwave, and now he's only $150 or something like that. It's not the exclusive, so I'm not trying to make the exact same point here, but just to kind of give people kind of an idea that maybe watching that only kind of deal with a little bit newer stuff. I mean, I didn't flip out. I was just kind of like, man, I wish I would have only paid. I wish I would have waited, or only had to pay $150. Or why is it cheaper now than the $200 that I was charged for? But it's whatever. It's fine. It gave it the opportunity to more fans. More fans were able to get it, and it's a good figure. So happy with it. Also, with them coming out with some of these Hasbro things, the Masterpiece, Prowl. I don't regret my purchase. I know I have the Takara version, and whoever else will have the Hasbro version. There's not anything in me that makes me be like, well, I have the one that's better or the, more. I don't want to say exclusive, but the Takara version, the original run, and someone that has the Hasbro. I'm just like, awesome. Glad you're able to get one of those figures because it's a good one to have.
Yeah, and I think it boils down to being a Transformers fan also that we're kind of used to the term reissue. You see G1 Transformers come back into light. You see a lot of, recycled bots, robots, toys, all that type of stuff come back, and we're just kind of, for us that are not huge BotCon fans or so forth, it just, it's like one of those rare items, like, why can't the rest of us have it? It's not my fault that I wasn't, it's not anybody's fault, but it's just like, it seems like I'm being punished for, not being there from the very get-go, and it's like, I can't do anything about it, except spend the $1,300 or $1,000, whatever it may be. But I think that Dakota is right. They should at least, or I agree with this point, they should release the rest of the team and do it kind of like what Josh is saying. Do it in a subscription service. I would like to see the subscription service actually complement all aspects of Transformers. Throw in the G1, throw in a G2 or a mold, and then something else from a different series and something else character-wise. That would be nice.
Business-wise, it makes you buy all the subscription services because being G1 collectors, I'll buy that whole little run for that year just to get that G1, and I can sell the rest of them or whatever. But you got me where you didn't have a chance earlier. The whole thing with me bringing that up as part of one of your subscription service or something like that, I was just talking from a business point of view. Now, something that Dakota did mention is I'd rather them all come in a box set. I would rather them all come in a box set too. I was just talking from a business point of view that it would be smart for them to do it this way because now you're getting more money in the bank that way because you're hooking some of us to where the box set. I mean, that would be ideal. Most people, they probably got that thing, or at least half of them probably still have that one on card. You need to change it up for those BotCon, lovers or whatever you want to call them. The people that have that exclusive, you need to have it changed up a little bit. So if something was painted and stickered, then these need to be tampographed or something like that. You need to change it up to where when you look at it, you can tell this is the BotCon exclusive. This is the reissue that we're doing for the mass majority, and that's the way it needs to be done. So I do agree with that part, but I don't think that just because you're basically a mom and pop convention in the very beginning, I know it wasn't just I'm just saying mom and pop because it was so small. You're that type of convention. The rest shouldn't have to suffer because not everyone knew about you. Now we all do.
All right, closing arguments, and then we'll move on to another topic.
You say that you would put one of those in the subscription service, right?
It'd be kind of
only from a business point of view.
No. Here's what I'm saying. You say you would buy it if it was in the subscription service.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you why you wouldn't. TF Source, Big Bad Toy Store, all the other retailers that order a bunch of those services just to split them up and sell them individually. That's why you wouldn't. Because look at this year's service. How many of those are still just loaded on the online retailers' websites? There's several of them that have yet to sell out. Not like what Figure Subscription Service 1 did. 2 still has, there's a lot of these online retailers that still have stock just sitting there. And then with the way 3.0 is starting to look, might very well be the same.
How does that hurt?
How are you going to push that if they can't even push it? You know, the ones that you don't want. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing: is if FunPub sells them in, here's the line for this year. Here's whatever 2015 line, and you brought it up. I mean, it is going to increase sales. Let's say maybe not from me, but from the online retailers, because they're like, you know what, I want whatever 100 or whatever number it is of this, this G1 exclusive. But in order to do that, they're not letting me buy just him. I got to buy all the rest of them. You think FunPub cares if TF Source, Big Bad Toy Store, sell out of the rest of these figures? They don't.
That wasn't the point. The point was most people do go to their big brick and mortar, or not brick and mortar, but online brick and mortar rather, websites to fulfill those purchases. Like I can honestly see them FunPub probably doing better had they not. Because how many people are gonna want just the other figures? Like I don't know, you could increase revenue, although they can't just decline business like that, especially on something that's made to order. But that'd be like me and Jay splitting this year's subscription service. He wanted like 3 out of it. I wanted 1, maybe 2, and neither of them conflicted. So
yeah, but the online retailer still has to make those purchases, and they have to purchase all those things to fulfill the orders of just people wanting one particular robot.
Okay, I know. I mean, I get that, but what you're not getting is, okay, TF Source orders a set. I pick 3 out of that set. Jay picks the other 3 out of that set. Okay, that's 1 sale. Or I order a set. Jay orders a set.
There's going to be a lot of you that are wanting the same figure.
Yeah, but why would that be brought up onto the customer? That would be the e-tailer's problem.
Oh, I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Dude, I get that. I understand that.
Doesn't care whether the e-tailer has leftover stock of whatever.
You're saying that it would do more business. I'm saying it wouldn't.
So you're thinking that e-tailers and people wouldn't want? I think it would, just because.
You don't think they'd buy
better
more
figures in there, like G2? If you announce G2 Stunticons, the other 4, into a subscription service, you don't think sales would increase?
Talking about for the entire sub-service or just 1 per service?
Let's say 1 per service.
Just go 1. I think they would go up, maybe not huge, but I think there would be a significant amount.
Comparing it to, and this is, right now, and we probably we'll never know how many sets of figure subscription service 1 and 2 were made. But I don't see it being that much to be super significant.
Have they ever released a G1 mold in the subscription service?
The only time the club has used G1 molds was in 2007 with Piranha-Con, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that worked out so well.
True.
Just because they're so expensive, excuse me, I have a mouthful. Just because they're so expensive to use, the G1 molds aren't cheap.
Yeah. Now, were they the original Piranha-Con, or were they the actual Seacons from God, Neptune, from Beast Wars 2?
I want to say they were the actual ones.
The actual one. All right.
And well, they painted up in some weird, crazy color scheme too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was in a different color scheme.
Yeah. They still have the box for sale, don't they, on this website?
Yeah.
But,
funny thing about those old boxes, they used to get beat up in the mail. That's why they have those boxes up for sale. I need to get one for Nightbeat.
But regardless, it would be kind of cool. And I get both sides. So you guys agree to disagree? To move on to another topic, or you guys want to? Anyone else want to chime in on this?
No.
All right. Well, I don't know if it's exactly the same topic or not, but
let's move on. No.
The G2 car crash would be funny, but at the same time would kind of suck, as if they advertise the full Intimidator. But would be funny as hell if they didn't release any of those, just the car crash. Just to homage it even further.
I think it's a neat homage, but a Fans Project rep already said that they're going to be releasing a very, very limited run of the 5.
Wow.
Like I said, even if they, hey, what's up, man? Even if they just did that one car crash, that'd be fine. And the only reason is because it's Breakdown Robot, and because of that episode. I think that's hilarious. But James and I, Trent, Charles, we grew up to where we were looking through these little catalogs. Like today, I mean, Dalton, Chris, you guys, y'all use the internet and stuff like that. You can see, or Cybercast, see what new Transformers came out. We were looking at these little catalogs that you turn these pages, and you could see what was coming out soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we saw G2 Menasaur, we saw G2 Defensor there, and we're just like, that is crazy looking. That's awesome, because we're like, that's gonna look good with my my crazy looking Dinobots, and G2 Superion. Yeah, so we had those, and we thought we were getting those, and so it was a want back from being a kid, and that want never got filled. And that's so it's kind of a childhood memory thing, and now to kind of finally complete that, a lot of collectors would feel that would be awesome. However it comes out, to just get them all to where we can combine them and put them on the shelf, and it would just be a great feeling. It would be like maybe your favorite G1 or your favorite toy as a kid or something, or Green Ramulus. There's only a handful of them out there in existence. Dakota, you'd love to have one, and because that might have been some childhood want. That's what G2 Menasaur was up to us, and we never got that. And we're never able to fulfill that unless we want to pay $26,000+, and it's not even complete. Green Ramulus, would you want to go get it if they were like, hey, it's going to be $26,000? You want it, and to fulfill that, it just kind of feels good. It's the same thing as when you find a toy that you had as a kid, and you finally buy it, and you get it in your hand. It just kind of takes you back, that you finally got it, and that's the way a lot of us feel. So.
Oh yeah, but I want the original Green Ramulus.
And you can have that
because it's so exclusive. Dude, it all boils down to exclusivity for me.
You can have mine if you want.
You don't have a Green Ramulus, Chris.
I know. I don't even have any Beast Wars.
Oh, Chris, you should have hooked them a little bit better, man.
Yeah. No, I can't put a straight face. I couldn't. I was just like, hold it together, Chris. Hold it together. I couldn't. It would be cool.
All right.
Like James and I talked about, you have to make it believable. Like, we can't be telling him. We have to have a conversation with him in the vicinity, and him overhear it. Yeah. And
his ears will perk up and be like, "What? Hello?"
Dude, he looked like Spock. His ears just went boom.
Where is it, man? Where is it? You said in the southwest quadrant. All right, I'm going there.
We started telling them which row, and then we couldn't remember, and we're like, no, it was this one. So being very detailed, that's what really sells it. So.
What we should all do is just chip in a little bit of money together and just get someone to put springs in every joint, so as soon as he touches it, it just explodes. That would be awesome. It'd be sad to see, but it would be pretty YouTube gold So I'd be up for
it. We should have got a customizer to do one.
I really don't want to go to jail
out of
for
his
felony.
and then James pulls it out of his backpack and just throws it on the ground. It shatters into a million pieces. A camera would be on Dakota's face the whole time.
I got this piece of shit. He's like, no, it's not Green Ramulus, and he started looking at the piece like, oh my god, it's Green Ramulus. What the hell? But so we pretty good on that whole topic. I mean, you guys all right? You guys still friends? You guys aren't gonna be,
Oh no, I'm gonna kick him in the balls next time I see him.
That's what I thought. I knew that was coming.
Let us know in the comments which way you go.
Here's a offhand topic. I know a lot of you can answer it, and it's just for whatever. I mean, just throw this out there, but it's not engaging as it was with the last topic. But we're pretty much past the halfway point of the year. You guys want to you guys have been collecting so forth throughout the year. What's your top figure that you've picked up this year so far? Like something that you would put in a year and type video. This year. It has to be this year.
Oh god.
My Platinum Optimus Prime.
Cool. I mean, it could be like you can do one or no more than 3. Just your top picks this year so far that you've got.
So far, mine would probably be any one of my BotCon exclusives. This or Chaos.
All right, so you just named off like 12.
Well, I honestly don't know which of my BotCon figures I would consider my favorite.
All right, that's cool.
I'll name one and then let someone else go because I'm gonna have to really think. The Beast Wars Neo Killer Punch.
Oh,
Dude, that thing still can't put it down.
All right.
My Energon Ultra Magnus. I'm so happy to have that finally. Just complete my set.
Cool.
Actually, I'd have to say my Revealed Shield Cyclonus just because of the story behind it.
Oh God. So you mentioned Cyclone.
Oh, I didn't
Dude,
even prompt
He
it.
freaking did it.
So
I can't believe he did it.
We'll talk about our little thing a little bit later, but let's have everyone else answer the question. So
I'll go next. Probably would be my Warden and the Mania King. I mean, I know he gets a lot of complaints, but I mean, once you slap those Ripple labels on that cannon, I kind of like my Grape Juice Galvatron.
Grape Juice Galvatron. Nice. That's good. Charles, you get anything this year?
I say for me, my top 3 would probably my Platinum Edition Predaking, my Masterpiece Sideswipe, and Masterpiece G2 Sideswipe. Probably my top 3.
How about you, Josh?
I had them in my head for a minute. I guess you can tell how much I love them. I forgot what they were, but G1 Jetfire. I'm glad. Oh yeah, G1 Jetfire. I was happy to get that. I'm gonna say the Masterpiece Voltron just because I've been looking at that thing ever since I got into collecting, but just the 20th and 25th anniversaries were just so expensive online that they just doubled in price. For the cheapest one. So to get it for, I don't know if you say it's a good deal, but a little over 200, I was happy with that. And I guess, I'm not saying that I like this figure or anything, but I'm just glad that I have it that way. I just don't have to worry about trying to get it anymore because I was tired of looking at it. I don't like the figure, but it's Masterpiece Rodimus.
All right.
That's why it's one of my favorites because I don't have to look for them anymore. I'm like, got them, I'm done. Now I can just set them on the shelf and I don't even have to mess with them anymore because I don't like them.
I guess my other 2 would be this year's BotCon Ape Link and the Hunter, just because that that was everything I was looking for, essentially for this BotCon. A Transmetal Fractal would have been super acceptable, but seeing more story on 2 very favorite characters was another huge thing, especially with Ape Link's new war journals going online on Tornado's Facebook page, and the last piece of them with the BotCon custom class paperwork. That really sealed the deal for me.
Mm-hmm.
So and the way the Hunter turned out, his paint is just awesome on that guy. And then just Ape Link in general, his characterization in the comic, I really liked. It was a different side of Ape Link that you get to see. So
Okay.
yeah, a lot character driven stuff, but that would definitely be those two.
How about you, Chris?
Top three I picked up this year.
Could
Well,
be
I haven't
whatever.
really
It
got.
doesn't have to be Transformers. I mean, just collecting anything.
Well, as in just collecting. I don't know why I pulled up TeamSpeak and not on TeamSpeak. What the hell? Yeah, well, the top three things I've got this year is, like I said, I would say, to me personally, it would be Grimlock, just because he's got like his flame sword thing, which kind of went naff, but there you go. It was good whilst it lasted. And
They're all broken.
Yeah.
no, this is not mine. I thought I was like the only dude, but apparently it does suffer from sticky paint syndrome, wherever that is. I've never heard of that before, but from what I bought, yeah, apparently it's well known for it, so I'm not the only dude.
What Grimlock is this?
The one that came with his, I don't want to say it's diecast. It's not. I don't think it's diecast. The metal crown, and he has
That's
flame
King
add-ons.
Grimlock. King Grimlock. That one.
Okay.
The coin that turns into the crown.
It says a transformable coin. It doesn't transform. It
Oh,
just,
that's not the King. King Grimlock is the second release one. You had the card that had the apron and all that stuff. And then you had King Grimlock, which was a different release. And then you had your Hasbro release, and you had your
It's been released
exclusive.
times.
Yeah, but those were the first three.
But it was that, and I would say those two tank models over there, just because they're not just like any crummy old tank model, because they were damn expensive, but they're like perfect representations. Because for years and years, I was a military like tank guy before I was like a Transformers dude. So getting things like that, basically, if anyone's watching and they know anything about tanks, I got a Russian IS-3 and a T-26E4, which is a Super Persian American tank. And they like the IS-3 is like so iconic in Russian technology, and then even in like US technology today, the Super Persian is still an iconic tank. It's a bucket of rust now, but it's still, you say the Super Persian, it's like, wow, yeah. So getting them, so I now finally have some tank building collection going on, and yeah, it's a pretty sweet deal. Now I just need to start painting them, so that'll be fun. And I don't know, I would take out one of those tank models actually, or even Grimlock, and say it's not a new figure, it's the Quantumsaurus Rex, but I've managed to put the 4 base coats of purple on him, and I'm starting to put weather effects, so he's slowly turning into Triplicon, and with a nice twist with obviously a robot mode, so it's getting there.
Huh,
It's
cool.
just time.
Cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
right on.
So.
For me, real quickly, it would be Seven Changer. He was the last brave Holy Grail that I wanted. I got him at the beginning of the year. And then it would be, I don't know, Primal Prime. I really like him. To get the original, even though I do have the customized class that unpainted. But and then it would probably be like I don't know. It's a toss between Henkei Dynamite because I really love the character, but Triple Dacus because I love those little Mexican racist bastards. So they're just hilarious. Beast Wars 2, gotta check it out. Triple Dacus, those guys are great.
I don't think I've heard of that before.
DJ Gimlet and Motor Arm. So
Chris, how many modes does Seven Changer have?
I don't even know who 7. Well, I'm guessing it's 7. And it says like.
Give him my gold star.
My excuse
I
is
wanted to
late.
ask
It's
you-
4 o'clock in the morning.
That's why I asked you. I was like, dude,
Oh my
we're gonna
god.
get him. We're gonna get him here.
I was like, nah.
5.
Oh, I hate my life.
Right on.
Lack of sleep can do that.
That's just our Chris. He's
I think he's drunk, but he's just drinking tea.
He's just sleep drunk.
He's just drinking tea and just kind of loopy.
Yeah.
that it?
Awkward silence moment.
What was the whole thing that
Oh,
Josh was on about?
Oh yes.
The whole hoop.
Dakota.
He said he'd be right back. But
What?
Yeah, what's up?
All right. All
doing?
ready for the story.
Oh,
This is great,
The
guys.
public wants to know.
first let's say why we're actually choosing to bring it up. I was discussing with the fellas here what happened Tuesday in the hotel room, and they're like, oh, we got to bring it up on the Aftercast. I was like, no, don't want to bring it up on the Aftercast. And then and I was like, well, tell you what, if he brings up Reveal the Shield Cyclonus, we'll bring it up on the Aftercast.
or
Because
how about
I
I just
said that
tell
you
him
were
what happened because you guys are gonna twist it around somehow.
No. It's going to be told the way it actually happened. So,
All right.
go.
Well, at some point during the day, Dalton, I think your phone died, was it? Or
My phone was dying and I couldn't charge it at the time.
yeah, so he was staying off his phone, and then I get a Facebook message from what I think is Dalton, and I'm like,
I got to mute
Dude.
myself. I'm sorry.
He's muted.
I was like, dude, why is Dalton texting me? And then I see the name Heather M. Wilson, and I was like, huh. Hey, Dakota, this is Dalton's mom. Just want to make sure you boys are all right. Yeah, Dalton wasn't answering his phone, and I thought to myself for a minute. I was like, can I have fun with this, or do I need to be respectful? Of course, I was respectful. I was, oh yes, ma'am, it's fine. His phone's dying. His phone, not him, just his phone. And he wanted to stay off of it, and so I looked up, and just in front of like Jim and John, and who was the other guy's name?
It was Sean, I think.
Sean, that's right. Thank you. I was like, if I couldn't remember his name, I was just gonna call him Autobot SDG. I was like, hey Dalton, your mom's worried about you. And he was just like, I could just see him. Hold on, let me turn my camera on real quick. All I see is come on, okay, bring it down like this. All I see is. I was like, come on, man. He was like, I'm not a freaking child. I was like, oh, come on, dude. She loves you,
And,
But,
I appreciate it. I love my mom. She's.
I mean, my mom's the same way. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, but I don't know. It was just your reaction to it was just really funny, and I was like, I saw the most handsome picture of Dalton I will probably ever see. I was like, what a stunning young man.
Stunning young man's giving me a message right now on Facebook.
That's right.
So is that why Josh unfollowed me on Twitter, guys?
How you doing? You're just too damn pretty. Intimidating.
Josh was starting to get nervous around you. He was like, oh, Jesus.
Especially when we were at the pool, like, damn it. Dalton's taking all my thunder.
Yeah. Hey, Dakota, dude, you want to jump in the pool real quick? Like, what?
We got all these Virgin Air people here.
Freaking Mike, dude. My buddy of mine, he was their room was like right there on the first floor, and I mean it was right there, like you literally had a perfect view of anyone in a skimpy bikini, and like, he was staring pretty hard, and one of them like saw him and got up and was like, eh! Oh, dude, that was great.
Transformer nerds.
These nerds are staring at me.
That was a quite funny ordeal.
Did you hear about the one that was on the lounge chair while we were there that you never noticed?
Wasn't it the one that was topless?
Yeah.
He wasn't
Yeah.
there yet. It was just the three of us.
Yeah, he was at the custom class.
Yeah.
I'm painting toys and you guys are staring at boobs. What's
We
wrong?
weren't staring, but
didn't even notice.
I noticed, and I'm like, oh, I don't care. I'm like, and I just sat down, and then I thought Dalton was staring or someone, but he sat down, and I think she looked at us, and we were like, what? And then she got up and left, and we're like, all right,
That's
sorry,
when you're like, hey, baby.
hey baby, how you doing? I'm married and my wife will kill me. But hey, I'm gonna take a chance. No, I don't think so. Just because I want my Transformers still. And I love my wife. I need this
Not
guy to
because
say
you
that.
love your
Don't
wife.
forget your kids, Shane. Don't forget your kids.
And I love my wife. And if she's watching this, I'm gonna get hell later anyway. So
Oh yeah.
It's the mics. It's the mics.
it's
right
Mike's,
now.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't get my G2 breakdown robot, so I'm drinking. I gotta drink. I gotta self-medicate somehow.
Somehow, yeah.
Next the pills, and I don't know. Sucks. I told her I was gonna go into a drunken stupor for the rest of the year until I can get my G2 Menasaur. She's like, fine. I'm like, okay. No, just
She's
kidding.
like, all right, that's fine.
Next Aftercast, I'm in rehab. But so, any other topics you guys want to talk about? Friendly topics.
Is anyone even
Are any of us even
Something that we can understand.
The language is primary English on the Aftercast.
I don't know what they have over there.
I forgot. I'll go back to English. Is anyone even contemplating whether to get the Masterpiece Grimlock when he has his throne? His seat.
I'm not getting it with the throne. That is just.
It's probably gonna be like styrofoam.
What was it? $300?
Porcelain.
Even take out Masterpiece Grimlock. Say if it was just the seat.
No.
No.
You can just get that
You
from Guilty.
All my other
Well,
toys would get jealous because they
That
want
that
to.
chair is actually from the Fall of Cybertron. When you go into that little room before your purchase.
I
Where you've got, like, a
don't
big
need it.
screen.
Well, then that makes no sense for it to be with the Masterpiece version.
Well, there is a Masterpiece version coming out for the Masterpiece Grimlock, but I don't even
What
see the
for?
point in that.
I'd rather have the apron and the little dirge figure come back.
Yeah, why is a
That's
chair
the,
from Fall of Cybertron coming with
extra piece.
Masterpiece Grimlock? That makes no sense.
No, it's not the Fall of Cybertron chair. It was Fall of Cybertron. The game chair basically has more detail and is sculpted better. The Masterpiece one is literally just. There's no from. I think there's an Autobot symbol on it, and that's about it. But it'll probably be a little bit of texture on it for like detail effects. But apart from that, it's just bog standard. But I've seen like loads. I don't know why it's on like your side of the pond, but loads of people from our side, just like loads of people's going nuts over it. Like, gotta have it. It's like, why? It's like over 300. Well, it's like 200, 300 quid, something like that in my money. So God knows what it's like over by you. But it's like, it's just a chair. Just make your own. If you're that desperate for him to sit, just go to a Games
I don't
Workshop.
I don't think that warrants buying a figure that you already have.
Yeah.
Unless could Prime fit in it? Sit there.
Oh, yeah.
Look at everyone. Rodimus,
It
baby.
takes a $75 figure and turns it into a $250 figure just for a chair. I don't see the point in it.
Yet they
Well,
won't release
it's-
G2 Menasaur, but they'll do this crap.
Exactly.
I don't know, but
And I
wouldn't
thought
mind no
my
chair.
Masterpiece Grimlock Hasbro version was an exclusive. I want my money. I want reparation.
The
That
other
is
thing
funny.
Hasbro
That was
have-
my first masterpiece.
Any of you guys think Hasbro have another crack at Grimlock, or
What,
I doubt
outside of the Toys R Us?
even Megatron, even?
Oh, I'm very down. I'm very, very highly down.
But it is in tank form, not gun form. Obviously, that's never gonna happen.
No, we're getting the leader class version of Megatron, so they'll stick with that.
But can we get a better one?
That's the
No.
question. That's $1 million question.
Would you buy the Takara version if it had better paint apps?
No, the mold in general just looks like shite.
Okay.
Exactly why, people have problems with the Hasbro one. Takara's always the answer. I don't see that with the Galvatron for Age of Extinction, just for $60 for just a better painted face. That's really all you're getting.
It's not just
Price.
How many of you guys picking up Jetspire?
Oh, I'm definitely picking that up.
I thought about it, but I don't know, man. Classics ain't my thing anymore. I'd like to get it, but then also hate trying to get rid of it later.
Yeah. I don't
I'm
understand,
mad.
Dakota. You
I
get
already
Ward
told
and
you
you
I
get
hate
rid of it.
You could cheat and chuck him in like your generations line or something. Just cheat, like, and just imagine. It's like what I've done is what I've done because I only have like 2 or 3 classic figures. So what I've done with Springer and Blitzwing, I chucked them in, just basically pretended that yeah, they're from the game. Why not? And
Blasphemy.
try that. It's my display. I can do what I want. Well,
Exactly.
until I start touching them, breaking them.
If you want to put depth charge on Skybite's shoulder, then you can display them.
Skybite, his uncle, Captain Shark.
There you
Yeah. We're gonna go see Uncle Captain Shark.
But I don't know. Are any of you guys sick of the Springer mold? The Generation
No.
Springer mold?
go. No.
After Rodimus, and then after we get the Beast Wars Uprising Dinobot, I say they can retire it. Maybe give us a Shattered Glass Springer out of it, and then call it quits.
It seems like that's become the
Yeah.
favorite Generations mold. For
Oh, but
things.
it's so good.
It's good, but it's getting. I like it better than the Blitzwing. Don't get me wrong, but it's getting kind of old. It's like, come on, let's come up with some
Speaking-
other stuff.
The novelty will eventually start wearing off on the mold.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Blitzwing mold, after seeing that add-on for Double Dealer,
That is
have to
one
shell out the money.
Choose your
Makes him
words
double
carefully,
wiener.
Dalton, or I will boot you.
Yeah,
Give him the stare.
don't say what you thought it looked like, Dalton. We know you like
Oh,
to use
yes.
that word.
Yes,
The
keep
Double
it.
Dealer mold itself is crap, but the upgrade makes it look semi-decent.
Well, it's not even just looking like a normal add-on kit. It completely transforms the figure itself, which is why I think
Gives it a
gives
wiener.
it so much.
Throwing at
It makes it so different from the rest. It's not like, oh, we're going to give him different hands, a different head. It's like, no, we're just going to give him a
Different
huge
something, that's for
camera.
sure.
You know?
Yep. Have you seen my baseball?
That's right.
Trent, are you like sitting on your mic or something?
No,
On your
can you
mic.
hear me? Can you hear me?
We just hear like this
Oh, I'm sorry.
all the
I
time.
think I am, yeah.
Yeah.
My bad.
Well, I think he has a wired mic and it's like rubbing against his shirt when he moves.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious if you were sitting on your mic.
Like I don't know, because like I know he's like hears this, but like I haven't heard him say anything. So and then I keep on hearing that noise, so I didn't know if it was just if he was like sitting on it, and he couldn't find it because he kept on like, moving around and stuff.
You still hear it now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Put my hand on it so it won't rub up against my shirt. That's probably what was happening.
That sucker's sensitive.
Yeah. I had
Get
no
pick
idea
up
it
with
was
the-
coming through.
Oh, my
Pick up the neighbor's conversation.
Hey, dude, there's nothing wrong with spying on your neighbors, Trent. Don't let these guys get all holier than thou on you.
Okay.
A pair of binoculars and a camera is nothing to be ashamed of.
Binoculars, James. I thought you were just gonna like force their cameras on or something like that from your computer.
There you go.
Freaking Mr. Big Government James over here.
I would. If I had the opportunity to turn on people's cameras, I would totally do that. Look,
You can do it with the right software, but
Oh, Chris, come on, dude. Don't be a freaking terrorist.
Don't be a terrorist.
We really like you, and we really don't want you to be on the no-fly list.
Yeah.
no, it's because my girlfriend, she's she works.
Your girlfriend's a terrorist.
No,
My
actually,
girlfriend is from
I found
Taliban,
out his
yeah.
girlfriend doesn't like
No, she hates it. She really hates it. She thinks
Oh,
I'm
get her on the
weird.
Aftercast. Where is she? Is she there?
I said it before. I was just like, it would be really cool. It's like if you could come on one time and show. It's like right. Here's the nerd block, and then we should get like a bunch of people who don't really get the Transformers to see what the outside view is like. But then I was just like, oh my god, imagine more of you. I mean, one of you is bad enough. She was like, what? I was just like, no. But yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
Is it she just doesn't understand it or she outright hates it?
she hates it, but she just doesn't understand it in general. It's like what I tried to explain to her is like, I don't just collect Transformers, we're all leather or plastic or metal or just dangerous things like that. But people have pictures, people have ornaments from times in their life and to represent certain things with, versus people like us have certain toys. For example, the G1 lovers, they have the G1 toys. That's what they had when they was a kid, and they can use that as a playback, like mini movie of, right, yeah, I remember the Christmas I had that. I said the same concept. It's just it's not the normal thing for what you would expect, like the typical generical thing. Generical? I'll go with that. It would be pictures, like I said.
Another made-up word by Chris.
Yeah, looking over the dictionary, it'll be there somewhere.
You said she doesn't understand it, but she hates it. Like, hate is kind of a cause and effect. It's kind of a cause and effect type thing. There's got to be a reason she hates it. Maybe it's because it takes time away from you. It's kind of like I hate the Boston Celtics. The reason why is I'm a LA Laker fan. I hate the Washington Redskins. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. So there's a reason why.
The Redskins do the Cowboys.
Do you really want me to dive into all the Dallas Cowboys history?
I'm curious.
Okay.
No, it's because of Deion Sanders, isn't it? I knew it.
The real short version. Deion Sanders didn't play with the Redskins. The real short version of the rivalry between the Redskins and the Cowboys is when the Cowboys were trying to come into the league. They got the votes, all the votes they needed except for one, and one person had not voted to vote the Dallas Cowboys into the league yet, and that was the owner of the Washington Redskins. Well, he was going to pass on it and say no. So they had a fight song, and what the owner of the Dallas Cowboys at the time did is ended up buying the rights to the fight song and told them, it was basically blackmail, that if you want to use that fight song that y'all been using, then you have to vote yes for us to come into the NFL. And they voted them in. They gave them the rights.
Terrible on the Dallas Cowboys. Though, right?
Dallas Cowboys are a team, and they're America's team, even though we've been 8-8 for about 20 years. So,
it's like what, 94? I think our last Super Bowl.
Yeah, it was either 94, 95. It might have been 95. But yeah, it's for 20 years. Yeah, we're a 500 team, pretty much. But you got to admit one thing, man. They are entertaining to watch. Every single game, it's going to come down to the last play. It's win or lose. It's entertaining football.
It's
football.
Kind of like how my dad and I were with the Huskers and Colorado Buffs before they switched the whole thing around. Every year we'd have this debate about, after Thanksgiving, who was going to win the after Thanksgiving game between the two of those. I hated the Huskers, and he hated the Colorado Buffs.
Well, to go back, Chris, why does she hate it?
She hates it many reasons. I'll just go through like the top three. One of them, she hates it because I went through a stage. I haven't really collected that much in the space here, just because I've said a million times before, room. But I've spent thousands upon thousands of pounds on just Transformers alone. That's not including like Power Rangers, Action Man, like just general like vintage stuff. Like I've got the original Photon pack for Ghostbusters and stuff like that. She hates like the amount of money I spend on it, and she says like you always like saying that you can't really afford to do this, or you're like but you're willing to do that. It's like, well, it's not that I can't afford it. It's just I split money up. But yeah, it's like I'd rather go out and spend money on something that is either, say, practical for me or something I'm going to enjoy, versus just spending money just going out just for the sake of going out. And it's like we could do small things throughout the week, or we could just do one or two major things throughout the week, if you know what I'm saying. But more so, she hates it just because, well, yeah, again, yeah, hates. She says hate, but I think hate, yeah, it is a strong word. Dislike it is more suitable, but she doesn't like it, like I said, it's because of like how expensive it is. She doesn't get it, and second, she thinks it's really nerdy, and she's like, oh, what happens, like, once, say, for example, once you're ready to move out, what are you going to do with all your stuff? It's like, well, obviously put it in the room. She's like, but what about my stuff? And we've had like confrontations about it.
Your stuff isn't important. No.
This is the thing. She said
a lot of there's less money to be spent on her.
it got to, well, kind of, yeah, which is like typical, but it got to the point. It's like she's like, yeah, but if we was to move in, because over here we get bedroom tax. I don't know if you get the same over in America. But if you're not using your bedroom, you have to get taxed on it.
Bedroom tax.
What the?
Bedroom tax.
What?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What about tax?
Good old
No.
country.
Do not ever let argument last.
Yeah, if you don't use one of your bedrooms, you get charged like 50 quid a week for not using that bedroom.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's like 100, 200 quid a month you're losing because no one is living in that bedroom. So if you had an office,
Trench sitting on the mic.
but it's really
You
stupid.
really hold on. Let Trance get his mic together.
There we go.
I didn't hear what you said.
I didn't hear a thing.
It's like a tornado, bloody hell. Yeah, you get like 50 quid a week if you don't actually use the bedroom, so it's like £200 a month, and that's just because of David Cameron, because he's
How can
awesome.
they prove that you don't use the bedroom?
Just from how many people you've got classes living at your house.
So what'd you say about an office? You'd get charged if the
Yeah.
room was classified as an office?
Jesus.
Wow, I
Never
would.
living
No,
there.
suck.
Yeah, you know, look at yours. But the fact is, like, it's like what she was saying before. She said that you've got to see it is like, even if we weren't going to get taxed, is I agree with her to a certain extent. She said, because look at the software and hardware and all the computer, all the tech that I would have to have, because she would need an office. Her office would be freaking huge. It's like the size of my downstairs. It would just be like a mini bloody building sort of thing. But she's like, what do you think's more important, my work or like your Transformers? It's like,
Transformers.
That's what the living room's for.
Transformers!
Better say Transformers. There you go.
Yeah.
You don't even need
Hovering over that kick button.
her office can be the kitchen. You don't even need a kitchen. You just go out to eat all the time.
You have a garage?
Take out. Yeah.
Huh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff. It's the same as you can only, in our country, you can legally kill a Scotsman, but it can only be on a Sunday at 12 o'clock in the morning, and you have to shoot him 100 meters away with a longbow.
All right, I'll be there.
Damn, dude.
We've got laws like that from hundreds and hundreds of years ago.
Wow.
But they never wiped out. They're still in. It's like no one would remember them, obviously, but if it ever happened.
What do you mean, no one? You just quoted us.
You know.
Obviously, someone's been thinking about it. Like it's dark in it's like the Age of Extinction, where he pulls out that little Romeo and Juliet card. See, I know my
Chris
stuff.
just does not like the Scotsman.
You know, we didn't talk about that. That was creepy. Okay?
Yeah, it was.
That you're like, look, I have documentation that I keep in my wallet that allows me to
have relations with your daughter.
with a teenager.
Underage.
Yeah.
We had a pre-established
I was
relationship.
like, did I just hear that? What the hell?
Now, how many teenagers are probably seeing that movie going, huh, idea?
But that's
I
text
wonder.
only though.
So seniors in high school are like dating freshmen just so like when they get older, but not like old enough. Oh man.
I know that
I had the card.
Texas is different than some of the other states. So you know what? That law isn't out of realm possibilities. I know that to where in most of the other states that they're like, you know, legal or whatever is like 18.
Yeah,
to where in
Nevada,
Texas,
14 in Nevada.
14?
And how do you know?
That's the legal age of consent.
Well,
we're not
it's
even going-
17 in Texas.
Yeah, 17.
17 here too.
17.
I just play it
You guys
safe.
know
and,
this stuff.
there to be 23 in Louisiana.
20. Whoa.
That's just playing it safe, dude. That's just me playing it safe.
32 here in
That's why everybody in Washington, they all have like good established lives already. And,
Yep. We drink coffee. We're just, it's all good.
everybody has a good job. They've had time to go to college because no dating until 32.
32.
All right, ready? You want to end it?
We can if you want. I mean,
talking about creepy stuff on it.
yeah, we
Yeah,
are
it's
talking about
Yeah,
viewers
I've
of
lived
Invisible
a little
Woman.
bit.
Lost all our female viewers. Like, dude, guys are creepy. They're not just nerds, they're creepy nerds.
Did he just say get in the kitchen? What a dick!
Oh. So, I guess, yeah, we can end it there and we can, I don't know.
You
can
just
just
made
talk afterwards,
somebody mad with that comment right there.
Yeah, I know.
Dude,
Great,
you're
thanks,
the one
Jay.
that said
I just lost a lot of subscribers because of you.
No, I did. I said that you could make an office out of the kitchen if you
Dude,
wanted.
exactly. Do you know how?
And just do a takeout. It's the
Okay.
most worthless room in the
Let's
house.
not keep reminding everyone. So, all right, so this has been the Aftercast. We're going to call it good here. We've been on the air for a little over an hour and such. So if you guys want to out yourselves, we'll start with Chris.
If you like tanks, i.e. World of Tanks, you can find me at Barrett Prime Games on YouTube and Facebook. So, hi and bye.
Charles. You're
I'm
up.
Charles. You can find me on Twitter at Optimus4Prez and Xbox Live is AutoCon365.
Dakota.
I'm Dakota. You can find me everywhere at Primal Sabbath.
Dalton.
I'm Dalton. You can find me on Twitter at DaltoniansTFs95 and on Facebook, YouTube at DaltoniansTFs.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Facebook. Jay, where can we find you besides Twitter?
I'm Nemesis Jazz. You can find me on Twitter at J.
Anywhere else? Any other social media? No. All right.
I have a Facebook, but I'm never on it really, except for
All right.
like, family.
Okay. Cool. Josh.
You can find me G1 Hexatron at Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and my Facebook page is the G1 Hexatron.
And Trends5.
You can find me at Facebook at facebook.com/Trends5 and twitter.com/Trends5.
Cool. And I'm Jay, VictorySaber77. Find me Twitter, YouTube. I don't know. Anywhere else, probably. It's probably me. But don't forget to check out our webpage, cybercastnetwork.com. Lots of changes happening. Go over there, check it out. Become a member. It's free. We don't hound you. We won't go after you. But you have to be a member if you want to see all our exclusive stuff. So become a member and check it out.
He was just talking about earlier where he wished he could turn people's cameras on. Now he's like, we're not gonna go after you. It's all safe.
It's all safe, though.
You just built their confidence so much.
So check out our website. Again, cybercastnetwork.com. Follow us on Twitter, CybercastNet, and like our Facebook where we get all the news and goodies for the Cybercast. And we have a topic show, Dakota?
We sure do.
We do. So look for that in the near future, the topic show, coming to you live on YouTube somewhere. So it's on Primal Sabbath. I'm sure everyone knows it. So,
Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.
right on. And it's
Ring
bi-weekly.
protection.
It's bi-weekly.
Yeah, bi-weekly.
So that's about it. So thanks, guys, for watching.
I got a show too. We got a show.
Oh, shoot. We have, yes. Josh has a show. I think it's, oh, shoot. What's it called? Something Cast.
It's some kind of lame podcast. I don't know what
Crappy.
It's a traffic cam podcast on Transformer nerds running through red light.
There we go.
No, it's a Cybercast Network.
It's not
podcast.
network.
No, it's not network. I'm used to saying network. This Cybercast on G1 Hexatron's channel. Definitely check it out. And
Saturday.
I think Saturday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Outro.
Yeah, I know. I should just mute myself. Such. I'm going to say such 5 times now because I know someone is going to say, you say such a lot of times. And I do say such, so such.
Well, Just talk about the figs.
Yeah, I know. I love the figs too. I'm not talking about the fruit figs. I'm talking about the figures. Ever heard of abbreviating the word figure as in called figs? Is that
Like
not in
minifig.
someone's vocabulary? Okay, well, oh man, we just lost 4 viewers. Gosh, no one likes to hear me talk. Okay, well, that's it. See ya next week. Out of here.